Hello everyone, this is Dale Cantrell with the Marineville Holiness Church, bringing you a Start Your Day Off Right series video for October the 13th. My quote, when you're good at something, you will tell everyone, but when you're great at something, they will tell you. My story, John Blanchard stood up from the bench. I think I've told this one before, but I like it, and so bear with me. John Blanchard stood up from the bench, straightened his army uniform, and studied the crowd of people making their way through Grand Central Station. He looked for a girl whose heart he knew, but whose face he didn't, the girl with the rose. His interest in her had begun 13 months ago in a Florida library. Taking a book off the shelf, he found himself intrigued, not with the words of the book, but with the notes penciled in the margin. The soft handwriting reflected a thoughtful and insightful mind. In front of the book, he discovered the previous owner's name, Miss Hollis Maynow. With time and effort, he located her address. She lived in New York City. He wrote her a letter introducing himself and inviting her to correspond. The next day, he was shipped overseas for service in World War II. During the next year and 1 month, the two grew to know each other through the mail. Each letter was a seed falling on a fertile heart. The romance was budding. Blanchard requested a photograph, but she refused. She felt that if he really cared, wouldn't matter what she looked like. When the day finally came for him to return from Europe, they scheduled their first meeting, 7 p.m. at the Grand Central Station in New York. "You'll recognize me," she wrote, "by the red rose I'll be wearing on my lapel." So at 7 o'clock, he was in the station looking for a girl whose heart he loved, but whose face he had never seen. I'll let Mr. Blanchard tell you what happened next. A young woman was coming towards me, her figure long and slim. Her blonde hair lay back in curls from delicate ears. Her eyes was blue as flowers. Her lips and chin had a gentle firmness, and in her pale green suit she was like a springtime come alive. I started towards her, entirely forgetting to notice that she was not wearing a rose. As I moved, a small provocative smile curved her lips. "Going my way, sailor?" she murmured, almost uncontrollably. I made one step closer to her, and then I saw Hollis Maynow. She was standing almost directly behind the girl, a woman well past 40. She had her grand hair tucked under a worn hat. She was more than plump, her thick-ankled waist thrust into low-heeled shoes. The girl in the green suit was walking away quickly. I felt as though I was split in two. So keen was my desire to follow her, yet so deep was my longing for the woman whose spirit had truly companioned me and upheld my own. And there she stood. Her pale, plump face was gentle and sensible. Her gray eyes had a warm and kindly twinkle. I did not hesitate. My fingers gripped the small, worn leather copy of the book that was to identify me to her. This would not be love, but it would be something precious, something perhaps even better than love, a friendship for which I had been and must ever be grateful. I squared my shoulders and saluted and held out the book to the woman, even though while I spake, I felt choked by the bitterness of my disappointment. "I'm Lieutenant John Blanchard, and you must be Miss Maynow. I am so glad you could meet me. May I take you to dinner?" The woman's face broadened with a tolerant smile. "I don't know what this is about, son," she answered, "but the young lady in the green suit who just went by, she begged me to wear this rose on my coat, and she said if you were to ask me out to dinner, I should tell you that she is waiting for you in a big restaurant across the street. She said it was some kind of a test. It's not difficult to understand and admire Miss Maynow's wisdom. The true nature of a heart is seen in its response to the unattractive. Tell me whom you love, and I will tell you who you are." The scriptures, Ephesians 5:25, "Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it." My humor, there was a man and a woman who had been married for more than 60 years. They shared everything. They talked about everything. They had kept no secrets from each other except that the little old woman had a shoebox in top of her closet that she cautioned her husband never to open or ask about. For all these years, he never thought about the box. But one day, the little old woman got very sick, and the doctor said she would not recover. In trying to sort out their affairs, the little old man took the shoebox down and took it to his wife's bedside. She agreed it was time that he should know what was in the box. When he opened it, he found 2 crocheted doilies and a stack of money, totaling $25,000. He asked her about the contents. When we were married, she said, my grandmother told me the secret of a happy marriage was never to argue. She told me if I ever got angry at you, I should just keep quiet and crochet a doily. The little old man was moved. He had to fight back tears. Only 2 precious doilies were in the box. She had only been angry with him 2 times in those years of living and loving. He almost burst with happiness. Honey, that explains the doily, but what about this money? Where did it come from? Oh, she said, that's the money I made from selling the doilies. So this is Dale Cantrell with Meridianville Holiness Church, inviting you to send me quotes, story, scripture, humor, a clean joke. And my number is 256-508-4410. Again, this is Dale Cantrell, Meridianville Holiness Church. Telling you, I'm not trying to replace your minister, you get in the church, just trying to supplement in these perilous times. So until next time we do this, may God bless you.